Welcome to our second week in a series on specific diseases. And today, it's not actually a disease, but it's prevention of disease, with our topic being anti-aging. And I am excited to dive in, share just kind of what we learned, and I'm going to pass it off to Brenda, who's going to kick us off with some talking points on what we need to say when we're talking to people and really bringing in this topic of anti-aging and what Juice Plus, the impact that Juice Plus can have on us. So Brenda, take it away.
And I'm really excited about this. To me, I've been all about anti-aging this week, listening to this and feeling so encouraged. So, and I think it's just so powerful what we have. So, first of all, in terms of inflammation, a diet rich in whole food reduces chronic inflammation, which is a key driver of aging and age-related diseases. Again, so inflammation, once again, just like with cancer last week, inflammation is the enemy. Nutrient density. Whole foods provide essential vitamins, minerals, and antioxidants and support cellular repair and longevity, which is, the definition of anti-aging, right? Gut health. Fiber from whole food supports a healthy microbiome, and we're going to hear about that some today, improving digestion, immunity, and overall vitality. And I think gut health, what's one of the things that's been proven so much in the last few years is how important our microbiome is. Skin health. Nutrients like vitamin C, E, and collagen boosting compounds in whole foods help maintain youthful, glowing skin, which is certainly what we all want. And that's so powerful. Brain function. Here we go. Omega-3s from whole foods like fish, nuts, and seeds protect against cognitive decline and memory loss. And that certainly is something that's become really important to me recently as I age. Blood sugar balance. Whole foods prevent insulin spikes, reducing the risk of diabetes and slowing down the aging process. So blood sugar, it's so powerful. Cellular protection. Antioxidants in fruits, vegetables, and herbs fight oxidative stress, which contributes to aging. Muscle preservation. Proteins from whole food sources support muscle mass, strength, and mobility as we age. And I was just listening to another YouTube from Barbara O'Neill talking about muscle has no age, that it's so important. The older we get, the more that we need muscle. Longevity support. Cultures with high whole food diets like the Mediterranean, which we're going to hear about today, and blue zone diets are linked to longer, healthier lives. So what we're eating is really promoting our life. Hydration and detoxification. Whole foods with high water content like fruits and vegetables support hydration and help the body naturally detox, promoting youthful energy and skin, which we're all here about.
Thank you, Brenda. So I think, what I'm trying to do is almost have just like a little notebook of these kind of tips that as I'm talking to people, kind of going back and almost pre-selecting, if I'm reaching out to someone, kind of pre-selecting some of these points that when I'm talking to them, I've got them right there in front of me. And I think just kind of reiterating what Brenda said, I think for me, I'm about to turn 60, so I am all about slowing down that aging process. And I don't know very many people who, even younger people, who aren't thinking about what do I need to be doing. And so I think coming here, utilizing this library, and I'm going to add, thank you, Karen, for giving us something else that needs to be added to this library. So we've got like 3 videos on here. All 3 are excellent. And then we have, and we're going to talk a little bit about these 4 studies that are related to antioxidants, antioxidation. If we go back to what Dr. Du Bois, Richard Du Bois used to say, there are two pathways to disease, or all disease leads back to either oxidation or inflammation. And I think sharing that with people, what we're doing is building a bridge to no matter what they have going on with their health, if we build that bridge back to oxidation and inflammation, then from there it's a direct link to all the research that's been done on Juice Plus. And so looking at these four, I'm going to start with this one first, this anti-inflammatory and antioxidant capacity. And if we think about anti-inflammatory, antioxidant equals anti-aging. And so, especially when we're talking about anti-aging, I really want to hone in on, last week we honed in on anti-inflammatory when it came to autoimmune disease. When it comes to anti-aging, really honing in on that antioxidants. And for those of you, which most everybody on this call, I've seen on our monthly calls, on one of the screenshots is that picture of that apple. One side is nice and fresh, one side's beginning to age. That to me screams antioxidants. The lemon juice you put on that apple to slow down that aging process is exactly what Juice Plus is doing in our body. And so when I'm talking to someone about anti-aging, I always paint that mental picture of that apple that's been treated with lemon juice, and how fruits and vegetables protect us against oxidation. And that's what these four different studies show. In this one here, it talks about, and this is something I just kind of use, and I've noticed, and maybe you guys have too, if I'm sitting at conference at Next, look around to the people, and even the people on this call, look around and look at, you don't see very many people with tons of wrinkles. Has anybody else noticed that? I look at the people who've been taking Juice Plus for 20 plus years, and I'm like, that to me is a clear picture of, this is kind of off topic here a bit, but I was reading a clip from someone talking about another product and how that she knew for a fact they were taught to change the images they were putting on Facebook and Instagram, and claiming that their product made them look so different. And I just was sitting there thinking about, when it comes to Juice Plus, just literally sitting in that auditorium, looking at people who've been around a long time, thinking, we don't need doctoring. This Juice Plus, if you've been on it for a long period of time, you see, and we have research to prove it slows down that aging process. And even with my customers, and I go there on this topic with my customers when I see them, I see it. I see a difference in them and seeing other people who aren't on Juice Plus. So I think having that conversation, knowing that we don't doctor pictures, we have actual research that talks about how it slows down the aging process. Now, on this one here, on the effects of fruits and vegetables, this one right here, the effects of fruits and vegetables. And I want to hone in again on oxidative stress. Back to, if you think about, if the oxidation's hitting our eyes, what happens? We start getting wrinkles in our eyes, our joints start to wear out, all the different places that we see aging. And that's what Juice Plus is doing. It's putting that, if you can just imagine the lemon juice in our body to protect us against those direct hits from the oxidation. One of the things I loved about this study here, and I'm going to encourage you guys, print them out, read them, and have them handy when talking to people. But here's what, and I don't know if you can see my three little circles, when it's talking about the results, it says significant differences, remarkable changes, slowing down and reducing the biomarkers of oxidation. If someone said, can I show you based on research how to slow down the aging process, wouldn't you be interested? Well, that's exactly what we have with these research papers. And so we've got it. Let's plot the information and use it. Let's see, this one here is this one up here. Supplementation from the British Journal of Nutrition with Juice Plus powder concentrate. And I want to hone in on right here where it says, is this the one? Let me look. Did I do the wrong one? I must have posted the wrong one. I got to go back and correct that. But in the one that I'm meaning to show you, maybe I'm just looking at the wrong one. It talks, obviously, sorry guys, I got to go correct that. But on this one, it's the British Journal of Nutrition, it talks about microcirculation. And, you know, again, if you're looking at anti-aging products, it always talks about microcirculation. And as I was thinking, and this one kind of goes into a little bit more detail when it comes to exercising and the impact that exercise has. We want to exercise, but also has a damaging effect. And what I started noticing is, has anybody looked at your legs in regard to your like varicose veins and spider veins? Anybody looked at that? I got thinking about that as I was reading this research, and I know my dad had horrible, horrible varicose veins. My mom had spider veins. And I've noticed, and I remember many years ago hearing Wendy Campbell talk about this. So when it comes to our skin and circulation, the impact, that slowing down, if anything ages you, is if you look at your legs and see like the varicose veins or the spider veins, and just it's talking about the impact that it's having on our skin and exercising, and how as much as we need it, it can really impact the circulation. And with by taking Juice Plus, it slows down that oxidation that's going on inside and outside of our bodies. And then the last one is this one on the effects of berries, fruit, vegetable, and berry supplements on the muscle function. And this one's all about recovery. And when we go to work out, how quickly we rebound and we recover, and that protective effect on our bodies when it comes to exercise. As much as we need it, we also need to protect our bodies against it. So that's what this one was all about. So I'm going to challenge you guys. I literally am building a notebook that I have to kind of keep going back and studying and really building, continuing to build my vocabulary. When we have all this at our fingertips to use, let's use it. Let's use it. All right, Brenda, I'm going to pass it over to you. And do you need the screen, or do you want, or is it one of these three videos?
Oh, actually, that's what I was just going to say. It's one of the ones that we talked about, but I think I actually said that this is one that was also in French, and it said it was like over an hour, and but it is so powerful, and it's not over an hour. Actually, this is Dr. Tamara Sachs. Let me share my screen. This is Dr. Tamara Sachs, and I've been raving about this all weekend. When I went back and read that, what's going on, and I was typing Elaine, I gotta tell you about this. Okay, she's talking about your mitochondria, and the reason that hooked me to begin with is years and years ago, I read an article that said, "Forget sending me pearls, help me have better mitochondria," because that really is the key to aging. And so this is like the first 20 minutes. She kind of goes into the background. Dr. Tamara Sachs is like legendary, and she's incredible. And I think you're really going to enjoy this. And not only is it talking about aging, but it really verifies, it really enforces how powerful our research. So I'm going to shut up and let you go for a minute. Let's see.
not just getting older, but getting older in a really positive.
Let's go back a little bit.
These 7 things that all of this research has shown clearly helps our lifespan. And not just our lifespan. Remember, lifespan means being healthy, active, fit, healthy, right? As we get older, not just getting older, but getting older in a really positive, fruitful way. So let's just talk about the 6 things rather that this research has shown us, and we're going to focus on the last 3 in just a minute. So the first one is categorical. Your brain is a huge user of energy and a huge important organ, obviously, and you must sleep. 7 hours is minimum. Very, very few people do well with less than 7 hours. So aim for 7 to 8 hours. The other fascinating, very solid research in this area is that you also must feed your brain grateful gratitude information. You have to be kind to yourself. Your brain believes everything you tell it. And if you constantly feed it negative stuff, it does not function well. So you really want to focus on meditation and mindfulness and balancing your stress with joy and gratitude. You also want to exercise. Any exercise at all is probably the most potent anti-aging activity you can do. But there are 2 kinds of exercise specifically that have been studied in terms of mitochondria and health span, and that is endurance training and what's called HIIT, high intensity interval training. And we can get back to that. The 4th, am I to 4? Yes. Is caloric restriction and intermittent fasting. So caloric restriction and intermittent fasting both have great value when they're done carefully, but they also have a little bit of risk because it can be hard to get enough optimal nutrition if you're only eating in a very small window of time. The next one is the benefits of a plant-based, colorful Mediterranean diet. It is hard to overstate this. There's more research and data on this than anything else over and over again for over 20 years. Mediterranean diet has shown to be effective in every aspect of chronic illness, from Alzheimer's to cancer to heart disease, you name it. There's just absolutely no way around the fact that colorful plant-based diets are critical, vital, and non-negotiable in terms of having a healthy lifestyle and a health span. The next one and the last 2 are a healthy microbiome, which requires a healthy amount of plant fibers. And that's where we're going to leave. I'm sorry, I got the 6. There we go. Those are the 6. So let's focus on the bottom 3, but I want you to have the background to know why these were important. So I'm going to let you focus on sleeping and exercising and mindfulness and gratitude on your own. And I'm going to focus on the last 3 of those 6 strategies and give you some practical solutions, some actions that you and your family can take right now that will help immediately to your health and your health span. So let's first talk about the Mediterranean diet, or what I call the plant mostly diet. It's not plant only, it's not plant exclusive. I'm not talking about a vegan diet or even a vegetarian diet. Mediterranean diet is an omnivore diet. It's just mostly plants. Half your plate should be plants, but it can include meat or not meat. It can include eggs. It can include all sorts of nuts and seeds and tubers and legumes. But the bulk of a Mediterranean diet is always going to be colorful plants. So that just cannot be overstated. The other 2 things we'll talk about in a second are a healthy microbiome and caloric restriction. So plants, diet, most important thing. And here's the deal. It's very simple. You've all heard it. It's just hard to do, but make 80% of your plate fresh, colorful, local. Frozen is good too. To be honest, frozen vegetables are maybe better sometimes than local stuff that's been sitting there for 3 weeks, that's been shipped from who knows where, right? So the colorful and a variety is really important. And really what you want is that every single day consistency. That's what makes you healthy, because you need those antioxidants every day, whether you eat them or not. You're exposed to toxins, you're breathing, you're metabolizing you're detoxifying, you need to have protection in the form of antioxidants all the time. So eating it once in a while or eating a great diet most of the time is good, but it's not the same as every single day having a large variety of colorful plants, both raw and cooked. And that consistency is kind of vital. And the sad truth is for America, I think it's the same for Canada actually, but this is an old slide from the CDC that only 1 in 10 Americans get anywhere near enough fruits and vegetables. And even sadder is this fact has not changed in the last 30 years. So even though many of us on this call and preaching to the choir, right, many of us have increased our fruits and vegetable intake and know how important that is, the fact that the overall number hasn't changed means that other people have decreased their intake of fruits and vegetables for the average to stay the same, even though some of us have markedly increased them. So that's pretty sad. So I am eternally grateful to have been eating plant powder capsules every day for over 20 years, kind of like what you mentioned, Yvonne. These plant powders and capsules provide the plant nutrition I need, the consistency I need, and the convenience and the affordability that I want. But to be fair, I was very skeptical at first. I did not believe this for a minute. I did not want to hear about it. I thought it was nonsense for quite a while. But little by little, I learned about this company and its commitment to quality, its commitment to small family farms, to innovation, and above all, for me, to science and to research and to making a real difference. This was a different company, and little by little, I realized that the company and the culture of the company was something very special. So I'm very grateful I was able to keep my mind open. And then my skepticism completely vanished after reading the research. I read it in great detail. I read the references. I was a little obsessive, but as a result, I have not missed a day of Juice Plus in 20 years because I've read the research. And if you have read the research, you also would not miss a day of taking your Juice Plus like I have. So I found the proof that the nutrients in these capsules gets absorbed into our cells and improves cell function. And, you know, my background, as you may have heard, is a molecular biologist first. The day of taking your Juice Plus like and the pioneering technology that's used to make these plant powders because of the less skeptical and more appreciative of what I had found. Because of the quality of the produce that they grow everything themselves, by the way. Juice Plus company does not buy any powders on the open market like every other company does. They grow everything from seed to capsule. They control it, right? There's 40 different broccolis, right? Juice Plus company grows ugly, bitter broccoli that you would never want to eat and would never buy or find because it is the most nutritionally dense broccoli. And that's what they choose for each and every one of their ingredients. So because of the way it's grown, the way it's harvested at peak ripeness, the testing that they do to make sure it's cleaner and organic, and the pioneering technology that's used to make these plant powders, they work better than any other product of its kind, no question. And they result in significantly less inflammation, significantly less free radical damage. And that's the ultimate goal in prevention and in health span. That's what we want. Inflammation to go down in health and free radical damage to go down. So I could talk to you all day about the body of gold standard research that's used Juice Plus versus placebo. It's been done for the past 28 years and counting. But I won't talk all day. I'll just say that this is real clinical research, unlike what other nutraceutical companies have done. These are randomized controlled clinical trials that have to date included several thousands of people, done by the leading researchers in their field. published in medical journals that I've known my whole career. And they include the young people and old people and healthy people and sick people. There's a wide range of studies that have been done, and very significant positive findings, specifically in memory, cognitive and executive brain function. Who doesn't want a better brain, right? Lowering bad cholesterol. Several other risk factors in cardiovascular disease have all been studied and shown to have very important findings. Juice Plus versus placebo shows less inflammation, better immune function, improvement in post-operative healing, improvement in periodontal disease, lung disease, and there's even 2 studies showing fewer wrinkles. So if nothing else seems to catch your fancy, sometimes that's the one that does it. They have epigenetic studies and a whole lot more. So if you're, a nerd or a geek like me, you have found a home, because we are science-based and science-driven, and it is a joy and a pleasure to work with Dr. Manfred Lamprecht, who is our science clinical director. The research is cutting edge and is the highest caliber, and it's available from the person who invited you to this call. It's also available on the company website. So please take a look at that if you are interested. And this is a company on a mission to make a difference. So they also wanted the entire family to be able to take Juice Plus, and to make that affordable, they created a Healthy Starts program that gives free product to kids ages 4 to 25 with any adult order. The data collected from these millions now of families in 16 countries over 20 plus years has shown a huge positive impact on these children. They eat more fruits and vegetables, they miss less school days from illness, they need fewer doctor visits. There's so much more, but we don't have time. And then lastly, to make healthy easier and to make healthy affordable, then that's what Juice Plus is all about. The other way you can increase your intake of fresh produce is to grow your own. Tower Gardens makes that fun and easy. I've been growing my own food year-round, indoors and out, for many years now. It's fresher, it's cleaner, it's tastier than anything I can buy. Saves me a fortune in money, but I think the better benefit is that I eat a lot more vegetables because they're right on my deck or in my living room in the winter. They're right there. I go to them and take 2 bowls for salad and for stir fry, and I consume a lot more healthy vegetables as a result of my towers. Children who grow their own food eat more healthy food. Really, Tower Gardens are an amazing addition to the Juice Plus family with the goal of healthy living. So number 2 on the 3 things we're talking about giving you help and actionable, easy things you can do is how to help your gut and your microbiome. So eating a lot of vegetables and considering adding Juice Plus or a Tower as an affordable, easy way to help you get more.
Are you stopping the video here?
Is that okay?
Yeah, I just wanted to make sure.
Yeah.
Let me take a minute, and I want y'all to just take 1 minute and think about either something Brenda said or I shared or you just heard on the video. What is one caption, one clip, one sentence that you want to make your own? And I'll start. When I've never heard anyone talk about that we go after the most bitter broccoli because that is the most highest nutrition. That to me just jumped out at me, and I thought, I've never used that. I've never thought about that. I've never heard that. So that's a little tidbit that I'm going to use. Who else? What have you heard today that you're going to turn around and implement?
I was amazed that the CDC has not changed that only, people are only eating 1 fruit and vegetable a day in 30 years. So, I mean, it's even more reason why they need this. She just had so many great one-liners for me.
I love that. That one did jump out at me too, that our product is just as relevant today what it was 30 years ago.
And she talked about this information is fruits and vegetables is vital, non-negotiable, and critically important.
Mm. Who else? What jumped out at you? Karen.
Sorry, as I was doing this, I'm texting Wendy and said, we've got to send this to Ashley. She nannies for this gal, and this one little boy has such terrible nutrition. And the mom, who is a cardiologist, said she needs to see that research and the results of it. So that's what
And
I'm
that's
working on.
And that's what Dr. Tamara Sachs isn't she a cardiologist?
I
I'm
don't
pretty
know.
sure she is. Yeah, I'm pretty sure she is. Sandy, do you think she is too? Okay, you're on mute.
The heart of the matter, I always go to that.
That's true. That's
Yeah.
true. Yeah. All right, Sandy, since we got you unmuted, what jumped out at you? Wait a minute, you're muted again.
Okay. I had trouble understanding. She sounded like she was talking in a barrel.
Yeah.
But the thing that I always lead with is we've said it over and over and over again. All disease leads back to oxidation or inflammation. That's a key for everything, in my opinion.
Yep. Good,
We
good.
can, we can put
Who
this.
else?
We can put this video on on your the Team Extreme website too.
Yeah. And it may be a little bit better, Sandy, since we're, trying to do it through Zoom, it may be a little better. Who else? Let's hear some good one-liners you're going to implement this week.
I thought it was important that just there's many customers, right? So she emphasized on all ages need this.
Mm.
Even young healthy people need this as a preventative to what's to come because of the toxins in our society and in our world and near and far. So I thought that was really good. Like, don't only have to find people who are in trouble, you can get them before that.
Yes, very good point. Very good point, Wendy. Who else? Come on, let's hear from some of you other ones. What jumped out? What are you going to use this week? Did I see Trina? Were you going to say something?
There. Always about the 80% of your plate
Mm.
needs to be plants. We've
Good.
always heard 7 to 13 servings, but I like the 80%.
That's a really good point, Trina. I agree with you. When you think 7 to 10, you're like, oh, okay, I probably get that in. But when you say 80% of your plate, I literally thought about what I just ate before I got on this. I was like, it wasn't 80%.
Well,
So
you can
I agree.
you can visualize a plate where you can't
Yes.
really visualize 7 to 13 servings.
Yes. Very good point, because I actually had that thought in my head thinking about my lunch. Who else? That's good. Who else? See, if we say them and we hear each other share them, we're going to remember them. So let's hear. We got some more of you. Carrie Vidiello, I've never known you not to have something to say. What stuck out to you?
I think I like the vital non-negotiable fruits and vegetables.
Mm. Mm. That's good.
There's
if you
no
guys,
argument there.
if you guys think back many years ago, we went through a series called Talk Like a Pro. And, when you think about, Brenda did the research, I did the Juice Plus section. And in that Talk Like a Pro, it was talking about, having those one-liners right at your fingertips or right at the tip of your tongue that you're used to saying. And by doing that, when we've got those down, it really speaks volume. It speaks confidence. It shows people how much we believe in what we're saying when we can speak about our product with a very confident manner. So I'm going to encourage you guys to really take a few minutes and write down a few of those taglines. We called them taglines. And just having some good little taglines, good little things that we can quickly communicate, because it communicates confidence. And people will follow someone who's confident. If we're not confident, then people aren't going to confidently follow us. So let's first take some time post call and write down some good one-liners that you heard that you're going to implement. And then the second thing I want us to do, we've got a few minutes left.
Elaine?
Yes.
Both Christian and Tish have their hands up.
Oh, sorry, Tish.
Yes, so she posted this, but I'm not sure she emphasized this. Sorry, I had a couple of interruptions, but the one thing I always think about is this product has been studied 40 plus times, right?
Yes.
There's no pharmaceutical product in the world. I was at Lilly for 31 years that has ever been studied that many times for one product. And I tell people that often because when you're concerned about safety, when you're concerned about efficacy, I mean, how much more? Again, we've got products that are typically you go through phases. You go all the way to up to phase 4 for one IFU, one indication for use for one product. And this one has been studied over 41 times. So that's mine.
There's a new one-liner for us. Our friend Tish was in the what would you say, the drug industry? What is that?
Pharmaceutical
Industry for 31 years.
Mm-hmm.
And just say, here's a observation that Tish made. Is she never saw a drug. What's the max you've seen at research? Maybe 4 times?
No, so it's 4 years because you
4
go through
years.
phases, but that's only under one IFU, one indication for use. Now, they will take that same drug and study it again through those phases that takes many, many years, under a different indication for use so that it could be approved for that via prescription.
That not 40 some plus
No,
times.
no.
Amazing.
Mhm.
All right, write that down, guys. Write that down. Thank you, Tish. That's awesome. That's a great. And we know Tish, so we can confidently to that. Lucian.
So when I talk with people about the quantity of fruits, vegetables, and berries they eat in every day, a lot of them tell me, "Oh yeah, I do, I eat." My next question is, what? And I find that they eat 2 or 3 fruit, vegetables, or berries on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and the whole week. And it's the same diet basically every day, which gives me a wonderful opportunity to explain to them variety. And one example I like to pick on is with bell peppers. You got green, red, yellow, and orange, and each one has a different benefit.
Good.
So kind of like my tag into that is when they say, "Yeah, I eat a lot of that stuff." Okay, what?
That's a good point because I asked that question once. I'll never forget. I was like, man, I think about this all the time and I have a hard time getting in 7 to 9. How do you get 7 to 9? Give me some tips. And I kid you not, the guy went, well, I ate a peach today. That was an exact, back to your point. It's like when you get people to slow down a little bit and you ask those questions, you really prompt a lot of thinking and it opens the door of conversation to go deeper. So great point, Lucian, of reminding us to ask questions. So,
and I like
yes,
too, his emphasis on the colors, because that's one of my big talking points when I'm talking with people and they're like, well, maybe they'll just start with the fruits and vegetables. And I'll say, well, you have to eat the rainbow. You need reds and oranges from fruit, yellows and greens from veggies, blues and purples from berries and grapes. And they never think of it like that. And so the color part has been really helpful for me because a lot of times if they've heard about Juice Plus from someplace other than one of us, they'll just start with the red and green. And I'll tell them, fortunately, since I started 22 years ago, they had just developed the berries. So I've never been without them. And then talking about, I think omegas are easier to sell sometimes. But I love, Lucian, that you talk about that. I think that's really powerful. The other thing is that I never thought about the fact that she made Dr. Sachs made such an emphasis on we grow everything we produce. They don't take it from anywhere else or any other thing. I think that never thought about that before. So.
Yeah. I love that. Say your little line a little slower. Reds.
We need to eat the rainbow. Reds and oranges from fruit, yellows and greens from vegetables, blues and purples from berries and grapes, which is the whole color wheel.
Love that. Woo, that's a powerful line right there. We need to have our notebooks handy and have all this so we really capture these great thoughts. All right, let's take
Dale's got her hand up.
Oh, Dale, sorry.
Oh, mine is a little bit different. I'm trying to help somebody who's got a lot of difficulty with pancreas. And now she's saying she can't have any cooked vegetables or anything cooked because it takes away the natural enzyme, I don't know, the natural qualities or whatever of the vegetables or fruits. And
so Plus works perfect for her then.
It does. I'm just wondering if anybody has ever heard that though, that they can't have cooked vegetables.
Well, it reduces the enzymes. The enzymes many times can, and the nutrients can sometimes be, diminished when it's cooked. So I don't know if it's that she can't, but she's probably trying to maximize the nutrition and wants to get raw, which I think it's great because we all have a hard time getting raw in.
She's also scared of sugar. So even though our shakes are low glycemic, she doesn't want to touch them because they have any sugar at all in them.
Well, that's why
she's
she
going to
can take
blow
Juice
away.
Plus.
Yeah.
She can take Juice Plus. All right, let's just take 5 minutes and let's plan for our week. Who are you going to talk to? Last week we did autoimmune disease. Who did you talk to last week? Or who did you have on your list and didn't get to them? Who can I reach out to this week who you can have that conversation about anti-aging? I've got a birthday coming up. I'm turning 60, so that's a big topic right now. Trina feels sorry for me. But that's a talking point for me. I can talk about taking another round of Juice Plus, whatever. But think about what's going on this week. Who are you going to see? And what conversations are you going to have? When we kind of plan ahead and have that thought process in our minds, are you going to the gym? I've been dripping forever on my trainer. And as I read this research, I'm literally going to take it to him and say, you keep telling me you're interested, but you're dragging your feet. Look at this. Your people need to know this. You need to share this. So who can you connect with this week? And I think sometimes we can get discouraged. We've had a bumpy time with this moving to our new IT platform. And I think we all kind of can shy away from it, maybe from really being bold. I know I can. But who out there, I got to kind of shuck it back, make it not about me, and think about what if someone hadn't shared Juice Plus with me? That's the question I want you to think about. Where would your health be today if someone withheld the news, the good news of whole food nutrition with you, and how simple we can get it in our bodies with Juice Plus? And that's where we have to camp out. Who needs to hear this message this week? All right, let's get 10 names on our paper. When you get 10 names on your paper, give me a thumbs up or a hands up or something. And let's get after it. So when you get 10 names, see who the first person to get 10 names of people you're going to talk about this week. Okay. Who else got their 10 names? I see Wendy. Who else? Just me and Wendy? We're the winners, Wendy. All right, Dale's got hers. Who else?
Sorry, I was responding to a customer.
Karen's got 8. All right, iPhone, who's iPhone? iPhone has 5. Who's that? Tina, yay, Tina, we're glad you're with us. All right, who else? Let's get her, let's keep working toward 10. And even more importantly, let's make the connections this week.
Call them, huh?
What'd you say?
You mean actually call them and do it, huh?
Yes. That now I'm speaking to myself. I got more than I probably could have come up with 25. Now the killer is carving out the time and making those phone calls and connecting. And I love the line, "You came to mind." Who can be irritated with that? You came to mind. I was watching, oh, you're right. I'm still recording. Let me stop the recording. let's see.